You are standing at the edge of something vast, something silent, something unseen, but unimaginably real. Right now, you are already immersed in a field that holds every possibility, every version of your life you've ever imagined, and countless ones you haven't yet dared to dream. And yet, despite this infinite potential, most people live as if they are trapped in a single, rigid timeline. A life defined by limitation, scarcity, and struggle. You've been told that manifesting your dream life is hard, that it requires rituals, endless visualization, perfectly worded affirmations, and relentless effort to raise your vibration. But what if I told you that the universe doesn't respond to effort at all? That the very thing you've been struggling to do is actually stunningly simple, and almost no one does it correctly. This is the paradox. Quantum manifestation is simple. It's so simple that the mind refuses to believe it. Because simplicity feels dangerous. It feels like giving up control. It feels like stepping off the cliff without a net. And yet, here's the truth. You don't need to chase. You don't need to struggle. You don't need to force. The universe responds not to your effort, but to your alignment. Imagine for a moment that reality is a wave, a shimmering cloud of infinite probabilities. Everything you desire already exists there. Wealth, love, health, freedom, joy. And yet, these possibilities remain uncollapsed, unmanifested, until they meet a coherent observer. That observer is you, not just your conscious mind, but your body, your heart, your nervous system, your beliefs. You are the lens through which the wave becomes true as real. Most people, though, are caught in a trap. They try to force reality with willpower. They recite affirmations they don't believe. They visualize outcomes they secretly doubt. They repeat mantras while their body trembles with fear and scarcity. And this is where the system collapses. Because in the quantum realm, forcing is friction. Effort without alignment is like hitting a tuning fork while your hands shake. The sound is distorted, chaotic, weak. Quantum manifestation is not about getting. It is about becoming. It is about collapsing the reality where what you desire already exists into your lived experience. It is not about changing the external world first. It is about embodying the internal signal that pulls that world toward you. You become the frequency, and the form follows. You become the magnet, and the universe bends its invisible currents to meet you. Think back to moments when life flowed effortlessly toward you. Perhaps you met the perfect person by chance, stumbled upon an unexpected opportunity, or had a breakthrough insight while your mind was at ease. What do these moments have in common? You weren't gripping. You weren't forcing. You weren't trying. You were open, aligned, and present. And in those fleeting windows, the quantum field mirrored back your coherence. Now imagine applying this awareness intentionally. Imagine noticing that your body, your heart, and your mind are broadcasting a signal at every moment. Every tension in your chest, every anxious thought, every old fear is a vibration the universe reads with perfect precision. You cannot lie to the field with your words. Your energy is the signal. And if your energy is fragmented, if your mind says, "I am abundant," while your body says, "I am scared," or your heart trembles with unworthiness, the field mirrors that contradiction. It does not punish you. It simply responds with exactitude. The first step, then, is noticing. Noticing where you are gripping, where you are forcing, where you are broadcasting noise instead of signal. And here is where many falter. They try to manipulate the outer world before they have calibrated the inner. They think that changing reality requires action first, instead of presence. But presence, clarity, coherence, these are the secret keys. They are the signal that collapses possibility into reality. Take a breath, right now, just this one. Feel it move through your body. Sense the tension in your shoulders, the tightness in your chest. Notice the story running in the background of your mind. And then soften. Let the grip loosen. Let the need to control, to push, to force, dissolve for just a moment. This is where your power begins. Here is where the wave waits for a steady observer, a mind and body in harmony, a signal that the field can trust. Quantum manifestation is deceptively simple. It is a practice of subtlety, of being rather than doing. It is the courage to surrender to a reality already waiting for you. It is to say, without words, I am here, I am aligned, I am coherent, and I trust the universe to meet me where I am. You are not separate from the field. You are the field. Every thought, every emotion, every sensation pulses outward, rippling into the infinite possibilities that surround you. And yet, most people treat manifestation like a game of external manipulation, writing lists, reciting affirmations, repeating steps they saw someone else do. But the quantum doesn't read your words. It reads your energy. It listens to the coherence of your being. Think of your life as a radio. You want to receive a specific frequency, the frequency of abundance, love, or health. But if your dial is halfway tuned, caught between static and clarity, what comes through is noise. You cannot pull in the signal of what you desire while vibrating in the frequency of what you fear. The two cannot coexist. One will dominate, and the quantum field, precise and impartial, will mirror whichever frequency you broadcast the loudest. So, how do you become the signal? How do you collapse the timeline of your desires into your reality? It begins with alignment. Alignment is not a technique. It is a state. It is the harmony of thought, emotion, and action vibrating as one coherent signal. When your internal world, the way you feel in your body, the way your heart beats, the focus of your mind, is unified, you no longer chase. You radiate, you attract, you magnetize. Let's make this tangible. Imagine you desire love. You might write affirmations. I am loved. I am worthy. I am enough. But if your heart carries old wounds, if your nervous system braces for rejection, if your body instinctively tightens when someone approaches, the field receives mixed signals. You are saying one thing with words, another with your energy. and the quantum mirrors the dominant message. The result? More searching, more longing, more almost but not quite experiences. The key is coherence. Feeling your way into the reality you desire before it physically manifests. Practicing the emotions, embodying the state, becoming the version of you that already lives inside that timeline. This is why manifestation fails for so many. It is not a lack of wanting. It is a lack of becoming. You cannot want into reality. You must be it first. Consider the observer effect, a cornerstone of quantum physics. At the quantum level, particles exist as waves of possibility. They are everywhere, nowhere, waiting. But when an observer focuses, when consciousness collapses attention onto a specific outcome, the wave condenses into form. Reality crystallizes. You are the observer. But here's the twist. The observer is not just your conscious mind. It is your subconscious. It is the automatic programs, the old stories, the patterns that govern 95% of your behavior. This means that even if your conscious mind screams abundance, if your subconscious is wired for survival, fear, or scarcity, the quantum field collapses a timeline consistent with that hidden programming. The subconscious is the silent sculptor, shaping your reality before you even realize it. This is why so many manifestations fail. You are trying to rewrite the script on the surface, while the deep undercurrents pull you back into the old story. But coherence can override these patterns. Coherence is the state where your brain, heart, and nervous system vibrate as one. Neuroscience and epigenetics reveal that the heart produces an electromagnetic field far stronger than the brain's. When your heart and mind are aligned, you create a unified signal the field cannot ignore. When out of sync, the signal fragments and the universe mirrors that fragmentation. Alignment is not a mental exercise. It is a full body, full system practice. Let's step into the practice. Begin by noticing your current state. Where is your body tense? Where does your heart feel constricted? Which thoughts are running loops of doubt or fear? And instead of judging, just breathe into these spaces. Soften. Allow. Become curious. Then ask, what would the version of me who already has this desire feel, think, and do in this moment? Not in some future imagined scenario, but right now. One small act from that space creates a ripple through your quantum field. Quantum manifestation is deceptively simple. You do not manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. Your energy is the blueprint. Your coherence is the signal. Your alignment is the language the universe speaks. And this is why most people fail. They focus on doing instead of being, on chasing instead of embodying, on seeking evidence instead of radiating presence. Take another moment. Close your eyes if you can. Breathe deeply. Sense the body. Sense the heart. Notice the thoughts, but do not attach. Simply allow your being to become the version of you that already embodies your desires. This is the practice. Not a step-by-step formula, not a ritual to tick off. A living, breathing recalibration of your inner world until it sings in harmony with the field. If this resonates, share it in the comments. It helps this message reach more seekers. Your single word, your intention, becomes a seed, a signal to the field, a declaration that you are ready to be the observer who collapses reality into alignment with your highest vision. Letting go and coherence. This section deepens the understanding of coherence, the observer effect, and the embodied nature of quantum manifestation. You have learned that the universe does not respond to your words. It does not respond to your lists, your mantras, your perfectly staged vision boards. It responds to your energy, to the vibration you radiate moment by moment. And this is where the majority of seekers stumble. They try to think their way into change, to reason their way into abundance, to convince themselves that visualization alone is enough. But energy does not lie. The field mirrors your truth, not your rhetoric. Imagine a garden. You cannot force a seed to bloom by tugging at it or watering it frantically. You prepare the soil, provide light, nurture, and then you allow. You embody the conditions of growth, and life responds. Your desires are no different. You cannot will them into reality. You must embody them, moment by moment, in ways both subtle and profound. This is the art of embodiment. This is the secret many never teach, because it is invisible, silent, and deceptively simple. Your body is a living antenna. Every tension, every contraction, every clenched jaw or tightened chest is a frequency that the universe reads. Your nervous system carries stories of scarcity and fear long before your conscious mind formulates them. If you want love, your heart must soften before anyone else can open to you. If you want abundance, your body must relax, trust, and feel enough now. If you want health, you must honor what is already functioning well, rather than policing what is broken. This is where manifestation transcends technique and becomes art. It begins with awareness. Observe your body as it moves through the day. Notice where you are holding tension, where your chest tightens, where your breath becomes shallow. These are the hidden broadcasts you send into the field, and without noticing, without regulating, your efforts remain fractured. Your affirmations fall on ears the universe does not hear. Your visualizations dissolve into static. Embodiment is more than noticing. It is intentional recalibration. A gentle breath into the chest, a softening of the shoulders, a hand placed over the heart as an anchor. Small, deliberate acts that bring your nervous system back into harmony. Ask yourself, what would the version of me living inside the reality I desire do right now? Not tomorrow, not when everything changes, but right now. One small step taken from that state shifts the field, collapsing timelines in ways you cannot yet see. Emotional regulation is the hidden alchemy here. You are not aiming to feel good all the time. You are aiming to feel real, fully, and to guide yourself back into coherence when you wobble. Fear, doubt, sadness, longing, they will surface. They are part of the human experience. But when you notice them without judgment, when you allow yourself to feel without reacting, you create a steady, inner state. That steadiness is a beacon for the field, a gravitational pull toward the reality you are embodying. Consider the paradox. The moment you stop needing, stop grasping, stop forcing, the field responds. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means aligning. It means becoming the version of yourself who already has what you desire. And when you act from that alignment, your actions carry weight. They are no longer frantic attempts to manipulate life. They are extensions of your coherent state, naturally drawing the universe to you. Now, let's explore the mechanics. The field is always broadcasting, always responsive. Your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, they are intertwined in a single energetic signal. When aligned, the signal is clear, unambiguous. When fractured, the signal is scrambled, producing mirror realities of chaos and contradiction. That is why manifestation fails when teachings focus only on one layer, mind, emotion, or action alone. Quantum manifestation requires the whole system to resonate in harmony. Here's the subtle brilliance. You do not need to control outcomes. You need to regulate your state. The field responds to coherence, not desperation. It responds to presence, not attachment. It responds to a steady observer, a calm, aligned, embodied you who radiates the frequency of the life already lived. Every small act of alignment, every breath, every thought, every gesture pulls the field closer. Pause for a moment. Breathe deeply. Feel your body. Sense your heart. Listen to the quiet signal of who you are becoming. Notice the tension and release it. Allow yourself to imagine the version of you who already lives inside your desires. Step into that state. Fully, without apology, without doubt, without resistance. Even briefly, this is enough to begin collapsing the timeline. Even briefly, coherence becomes gravity. Even briefly, the universe answers. And this is the hidden truth. Manifestation is not a future event. It is a present practice. It is the way you inhabit your body, your mind, and your heart right now. It is the subtle choices you make each day, the gentle breath, the softening of tension, the deliberate pause before reacting. It is the conscious cultivation of a coherent field that the universe cannot help but mirror into a dark, star-filled, cosmic space. Section 3 emphasizes embodiment, emotional regulation, and the subtle practices that create coherence, the bridge between understanding and real-world manifestation. You have arrived at the edge of understanding, where knowledge becomes practice, and practice becomes life. Quantum manifestation is no longer a concept. It is no longer a theory. It is not something you try or force or even want. It is a way of being, a continuous, living dialogue between you and the infinite field of possibilities. Remember this: you do not manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. The universe does not wait for perfect timing, perfect conditions, or perfect alignment of external circumstances. It responds to your state, your vibration, the clarity of the signal you carry. The field is precise. It reflects back the frequency you are broadcasting at every moment, whether you notice or not. And life will challenge you. Old patterns, limiting beliefs, unexpected events. They will emerge to test your coherence. This is inevitable. The field will mirror every subtle wobble in your energy. But mastery is not in avoiding the wobble. Mastery is in returning to alignment, in observing without judgment, in breathing through tension, in recalibrating your state when fear whispers that you are not enough. Every return to coherence is a collapse of a new timeline. Every recalibration is a step deeper into your power. You are not separate from the field. You are entwined with it. Every thought, every emotion, every choice creates ripples. The ripple you send today expands outward, intersecting with the infinite possibilities around you. That is why your inner state matters more than any external technique. That is why emotional regulation, subtle embodiment, and coherence are more potent than effort, visualization, or forced affirmation. The universe mirrors what you are, not what you wish you were. Here is the most radical truth. You do not need to hustle, chase, or manipulate. You need to become. You need to inhabit the reality you desire before it arrives. Abundance is not something to achieve, it is something to embody. Love is not something to seek, it is something to radiate. Health is not a goal, it is a state to cultivate, moment by moment, breath by breath. The field does not wait. The field is already present. You are simply learning to align. Begin with the small practices. Each morning, tune into your frequency. Ask, what state am I bringing to this day? Throughout the day, use your body as your compass. Notice the tension, the contraction, the signals of misalignment. Pause. Breathe. Return. Ask, what would the version of me living fully in my desired timeline do right now? Then act from that aligned place in even the tiniest way. Each act, no matter how small, is a gravitational pull on reality. At night, reflect without judgment. Review your day in awareness, not criticism. Where did you wobble? Where did you resonate? Where did you feel the subtle pull of your own power? Gratitude amplifies coherence. Even the smallest acknowledgement of alignment strengthens the signal your field reads. The universe responds to consistency more than intensity, to presence more than performance. Community matters too. You are an energetic being, entangled not only with the quantum field, but with those around you. The people you allow into your sphere influence your vibration. Seek those who embody alignment, who play in the field consciously, who hold coherence as a value. Let your environment, both internal and external, mirror the state you wish to inhabit. Surround yourself with reminders of the timeline you are becoming. And remember, there is no finish line. There is no perfect moment when you arrive and can stop practicing. Quantum manifestation is not a project. It is a living, breathing, continuous art. Each day, each breath, each thought, Each action is a brushstroke on the canvas of your reality. You are painting, moment by moment, the life you already exist within. Here is the final invitation. Notice your frequency now. Ask yourself, am I vibrating in fear or trust? Scarcity or abundance? Waiting or arrival? Without judgment, simply notice. Then breathe. Align. Embody the version of you who already lives inside the reality you desire. One small step, one small act, one small thought at a time. Drop a single word in the comments that captures your energy this week. Trust, alignment, flow, ease, or whatever first comes to mind. That word becomes a signal, a seed, a vibration sent outward into the quantum field, co-creating with you, responding to the coherence you now practice. And finally, understand this. You are not separate from your creation. You are the observer and the observed. You are the wave and the field. You are the signal and the receiver. When you tune into yourself, when you hold coherence in the face of doubt, when you embody the life you desire before it physically arrives, you are not manipulating reality. You are remembering it. You are remembering who you truly are.